Robbie and I, and this time, but 90 came too fast. But I want to thank all of you for coming. And last night, Robbie and I began to think about years past. And we kind of got mixed up. She said, well, let me go with my Christmas letters. Well, unfortunately, she got back to 94. It's when she started the letters. She first got the computer. So she had 27 letters, 94 to 21. Well, she got to about 90, from 94 to about 98, 99. I said, honey, I'm going to bed. So about 11 o'clock or so, I think she finally came to bed. But I'm going to sit down. I'm going to tell you one story. I hope you all can hear this. I graduated from high school in 1951. Well, the Army was really anxious for me to come and visit them. So I finally got a deferment to go to college. So we started college in the summer of 1951. And that old college about 20 miles from Star City, right in my hometown in Arkansas. Monticello, where the college was at, is Robbie's hometown. Let me settle down a little bit. So we started college in spring, summer of 1951, the summer session. And I don't know when it was, sometime in 51, maybe 52, I began to notice a young lady at college. And I don't know what transpired over the period of time, but I know from 1951 to I graduated in 1954. Robbie and I became good friends. Well, it was kind of comical because the only class we had in college together.
Oh my gosh, you're not going to tell that story.
Social studies. And of course, her last name was Ellis and mine was Foster. So the teacher had us in alphabetical seating. So, no telling how many classes she missed trying to avoid me in college. Anyway, the courtship began to develop. And
Well, wait just a minute. You left something
I knew
out.
I'd get a fact checker on this. I got a fact checker right here.
It got to where that I would go to the door and see if he was sitting there, and if he was,
Oh, Mother.
I'd turn around and go back and miss my class. Well, one day, he caught on to what I was doing. And so I looked in and he wasn't there, so I went and sat down, and lo and behold, here he came. You forgot that one.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid that, but anyway. So, got kind of serious, and so we graduated from college in 1954, in the summer of 54. And of course, when I graduated, it's time for the Army. So we were courting pretty heavy. So I went off to the Army and was stationed at Camp Gordon, Georgia, outside of Augusta, Georgia. And so I believe it had to be in early, maybe the summer of 1955. I came home on furlough. In the meantime, I'd gone to the PX at Camp Gordon and bought an engagement ring. So in the summer of '55, school was, Robbie had gone off to teaching school at Eudora, Arkansas, which is about 60 miles from her hometown. So I got a furlough in the summer of '55. I had this ring. My mother and father, my stepfather, actually my father, the only one I knew, lived in El Paso, Texas. They came to Arkansas. My sister had married her husband was also from El Paso. So my mother and father and my sister and brother-in-law all came to Arkansas to be with us together. So I don't know what day of the week it was. We decided to go fishing. My stepfather and my brother-in-law. I had, the only clothes I had was my work clothes, the GI greens, Army greens. So I went fishing in my Army clothes. So this little old lake was not too far from Eudora, Arkansas, where Robbie taught school. So I took a break and I said to my stepfather, I said, can I borrow your car? So I borrowed his car and drove to the elementary school where Robbie taught. Didn't know how to find her. Well, I found her on the playground. It was a recreational time, and all the kids were out playing, and she was out with them. So that's when I proposed to her on the playground with all these kids. I proposed to her, and I don't know how long I stayed around, but I had to get back to her job. I went back fishing. I got back to the lake, and the first thing I did was just about turn the boat over and get us all wet fishing. That's how I met this young lady. And she's been so much to me all my life. So I thought I'd share it with you, okay? I did a very bad job of it, but I wanted to share it with you, and that's the only story I'm going to tell you today.